Let's talk about something serious today, that is imposter syndrome. Now, some of you, this may be the first time hearing about this topic or this term, and it might be good for you, but imposter syndrome is basically when you feel like you're not worthy of your own accomplishments, or like you feel like you're just the blind leading the blind, you're not good enough, whether it be you're trying to apply for a new job, you don't think you're worthy of it, whether you're a grad student. I know I felt that way, even though I have a master's degree, I feel like I'm not competent enough at times. But I think this mostly affects us kind of artists, whether you're a photographer, musician, painter. People of artistic talent tend to fall into this hole that they're just not good enough. And maybe for some of you, it might be a good thing, like, oh, maybe it just makes you want to get better and better. But then there's that other percentage of people like me, kind of lonely, introverted, possibly prone to depression bouts people, where then not only do you have depression, but you also fall into imposter syndrome, where you just think you're not worthy of anything. Like, why am I doing this? Why the heck am I here on YouTube making all these videos? It's just, I'm not good enough, especially when you watch the videos that other people make, that they're just so much better and so much more cinematic. I really hate that word, but anyways, I want to tell you some of my accomplishments. But despite these accomplishments, I just don't feel like I'm worthy of being a photographer. I think that starts off with me being on Nat Geo. Like, I've been featured on Nat Geo. I've been on almost every major TV station here in Korea. I've sold them footage because, if you don't know, I make the bulk of my money from selling time-lapse footage and video to TV stations, especially here, those in Korea, because I take a lot of Korean footage, not just Korean TV stations, but also American ones, like American TV shows. For one of them, the biggest one's been Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown. I sold footage to them. It was great because I loved Anthony Bourdain. I've been so many magazines I can't even keep track of. I've even been in Rolling Stone's, the India one, because they have one in different countries and they got like an Indian representation. So I've been on the Rolling Stones. How crazy is that, Multiple radio stations, multiple magazines. I've had a number of art shows already. I think the first art show I had, I even made a vlog about it. You can go back and watch it. It's actually a pretty cool story how that happened. I'm going to be in the Seoul Museum of Art. That's actually a really huge deal. Well, this is Seoul Museum of Art. This is a national museum. Like, how many people do you know can say they've had their photography displayed in a national museum? That's crazy. The fact that I'm telling you guys this is I still can't bring myself to believe I'm going to be in a national museum where thousands of people go every day, and they're going to be watching my pictures for about 2 weeks. I'm going to have my own art space, and I've been in a few I've been in a few exhibitions already. Like I said, I've even been in a few university ones. And here's another cool thing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Cyberpunk 2077, the video game, Project Red. So they reached out to me for a collaboration, not just me, but my friend Steve Rowe, because we do the same similar style of photography. And I'm not BSing you, I have the card right here. Very cool stuff. But they said I can tell you guys the fact that they reached out to me and that we're going to do a collab, but not talk about the collab itself. So I have that to look forward to. I've also worked with Samsung on multiple times. I think I'm allowed to say I work with them, but not what we've worked on. So yeah, I've done all these things, probably the biggest one being the National Museum next month, and yet somehow I feel like a failure. Oh, by the way, here's a card again. Yeah, I should be more excited, but somehow I feel like I'm not good enough. It's like, and I know many creatives out there going to feel this way too, and maybe they will use it as a drive to improve their photography, but it's like a double whammy. You got depression and then you got imposter syndrome on top of it. And it's really discouraging for me. Like, I want to get better, but whenever I feel this way, whenever I feel it creeping up, I just feel like I should stop altogether. Like, why am I on YouTube? It's like, who the heck watches my videos? You know, it's like most people only care about gear and they don't care about photography as an art. They just want to talk about specs and stuff like that. Then, but then I think this is helpful for some people, you know, because one of the ways to overcome imposter syndrome is to actually talk about it, tell people about it. And I'm not looking for validation, you know. I don't really care what other people. I don't care about other people's validation, whatever. So here's the thing. Many people tell me on a daily basis that they love my photography, that I inspire them to go out and take photos, which is exactly what I want to do. And they tell me my pictures are great and awesome, but I don't believe them. You know, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, whenever people tell me I take nice pictures, I just don't believe them. I just, deep down inside, I tell myself, nah, I suck. You know, this is not good enough. And then I tell myself, they don't know what they're talking about. They just think it looks cool. It's not actually a good photo. And I tell this to myself constantly, even though I work with all these TV stations and film me for like 2 or 3 days, you know. So this just goes to show you how much imposter syndrome can really affect a person. And talking with you guys, I hope I can help somebody out there. Maybe you felt this way before. Maybe you didn't know that this was a real thing, but it's real. You know, it's real, and talking about it helps. At least I hope so. You know, it's like, I don't want to give off that image of that artist that dies for his art, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like that always depressed artist. That's like the image everybody has of an artist, right? And I think I'm probably one of those living representations of them, because I'm a very quiet person. Despite all the support from my friends and family and all the people who tell me they love my photos and my art, I still don't think I'm good enough or I'm worthy enough. So then it raises the questions, why do I do it? Why do I take pictures? I don't know. I have this need to make stuff, you know, like I like making stuff. I like taking photos, even though I think they suck, you know. I like them. Every now and then I'll take a picture that I think is actually good, but I don't think it's great. I just think it's all right. You know what I mean? But don't worry, I'm not suicidal or anything like that. At least not now. That feeling comes and goes. You know, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I'm probably going to be old when I do it. But yeah, I just want to talk about this feeling, because I have that feeling these days, especially. My pictures are not good enough. I also have a video on depression. You can check it out. And I know many people suffer from it. And yeah, wanted to make a serious video because I'm feeling pretty serious right now. I'm kind of in a slump right now. Even though if you've been following my Instagram, I've been posting probably the best pictures I've taken this year. I still feel like they suck. They're not good enough. You know, they're not good enough. I'm not good enough. So why am I still on YouTube? Why am I still doing Instagram? Why am I on Twitter? I gotta make shit, you know. I need to make something. I need to make stuff. That's the feeling I have as an artist or as a photographer. I don't know what I am, you know. It took me forever to call myself a photographer. I just started calling myself an artist this year, even though I've been doing this since 2011. So yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you feel the same way, you're not alone. You know, I'm not gonna monetize this video because I want lots of people to watch it. You know, I wanted to help somebody. But yeah, somebody out there, you're not alone, right? Anyways, I'll see you around.